Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full-time
MMA.
At the UFC 25th anniversary press conference, one of the people who really stood out to me was James Vick. And that's actually very impressive if you consider Nate Diaz versus Dustin Poirier was on the show, and even it was ultimately staged up by Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov being announced on that same day. But still, after all of that, I was like, yo, James Vick was coming in hot at the press conference. And one of the things he had to say was that his upcoming opponent, Justin Gaethje, who he's going to be fighting at UFC Lincoln, is the Homer Simpson of MMA. Now, that's specifically why we're doing this video in this format, because I had to bring up the Homer Simpson gif where he's in the boxing ring and he's just getting punched in the face, because that's immediately what I thought of when he called Justin Gaethje the Homer Simpson of MMA. And now, so with that being said, yeah, Justin Gaethje's a guy that puts on entertaining fights. Now, he's clearly better than the Homer Simpson of MMA because he dishes out some damage too, but he definitely takes some to give some. So with that being said, very entertaining fighting style out of Justin Gaethje, but a lot of fighters and fans believe that that's not the wisest decision as a fighter, because you got to think about your health in the long run, and you wonder how long that can last. And that's one of the things James Vick pointed out at the press conference. He was like, yeah, I'm here to entertain the fans, but I'm not here to get punched in my face. Or he was just coming in hot. But either way, it's going to be a great fight this coming up weekend. But this is what James Vick had to say about his opponent, Justin Gaethje. He's standing by his comments. He said, I just called it like I saw it. This is a guy who, yeah, he's really tough, a really tough guy, but everyone here in the UFC is tough, and while I was out there beating UFC caliber competition and earning my keep the hard way, he was out there fighting one can after another, rolling over him. Damn, coming in hot still. Not gonna lie, I'm very impressed by James Vick's trash talk. As a fan of trash talk, he's doing a great job. He said, I'm not gonna talk trash just to get attention. Back when I was coming up, yeah, I could have mouthed off, but I knew I still had a lot of work to do. Maybe it works for some people to just run their mouths and get attention, but I didn't want to say what I couldn't back up, because if that would come off fake. And he continued to say, if people believed what I said at the press conference, that's because I believed in what I said. I've worked for this. I believe I can handle myself against anyone in the division. I know the fighter I've become, and I'm not afraid to express my faith in my abilities. He went on to say I was keeping it to the fight, and then he started mouthing off, so that's when I called him the Homer Simpson of MMA, because it's true. Look at the episode where Homer was boxing and just kept taking a beating and still kept saying stupid things. That's Justin Gaethje. I've worked my ass off for this. I'm realistic about this. This could be the first of a whole career of UFC main events, or it could be my one and done. I'd be a fool if I pretended like Justin can't hit hard. I know what he can do, but I've also seen what Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier did to him, and I'm not going to be intimidated. Everyone here is tough. This is going to be a great fight, I can't lie, man. But, you know, like I said, James Vick is very confident, but you know the saying, especially here at Full-Time MMA. You ain't got to be scared to get your ass whooped, so anybody can win this fight at UFC Lincoln as confident as you can be coming into this fight. Justin Gaethje is definitely a dangerous opponent, and even for James Vick, who's one of the bigger lightweights, and not only just biggest lightweights, but he's also one of the tallest lightweights, and you kind of wonder, you know, what are those Justin Gaethje leg kicks? How are those coming? You would imagine he's going to have it in his mind to check those things, but still, Justin Gaethje is going to be bringing the damage, so this is going to be a great fight. And with that being said, UFC Lincoln is coming up, I believe, August 25th, next Saturday. Right now is Saturday. There's no UFC tonight, but you can tune in live at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be interviewing Sugar Sean O'Malley, who's going to be fighting at UFC 229. And one other thing, speaking of Justin Gaethje versus James Vick, this might be a good video just to run the old, you know, newly produced and remastered from Stockton Slaps, Justin Gaethje versus James Vick, Boys Round Here remix. So if you haven't heard that yet, we're going to run that. It's masterfully produced. First time, you know, we do these a lot, these parody songs, kind of like the MMA Weird Al Yankovic, but this was the first one we actually had like professionally produced. So shout out to Stockton Slaps, because he reached out and you know, offered his services, and we sent in the Justin Gaethje track. He sent it back, and it sounds fucking amazing. So check this out real quick, Full-Time family, and then we're out of here.
It's full time.
MMA.
Well, the boys round here don't have no fear. James Vick's been talking shit, so I'ma kick him in his rear. I'ma kick him in his legs, then I'ma punch him in his ear. Yeah, I'ma knock this fucker out, then I'ma buy us both a beer. You see, I've had a long day with training and stacking hay, so I don't got time for all your bitching and whining. I don't know what you were thinking when you signed up to fight me at UFC Lincoln, but you had to be drinking. You had to be thinking that you were actually decent, but I'm about to prove you're not when I beat your ass this weekend. They call me Justin Gaethje, and I know you fucking hate me, but the fans all love me, and you they don't fuck with. Beat your ass, then get another truck with the money that I won and give the rest to my honey. See, the boys round here don't have no fear. We're fighting in the UFC and it's just you and me. Sing along while I get me a beer. Yeehaw! See, the boys round here don't have no fear. We're fighting in the UFC and it's just you and me. Sing along while I get me a beer. Yeehaw! Wow, Justin Gaethje, it's clear that you're fucking crazy. If you think that you can see me, I'm John Cena and you're Stevie. We both know that you can't beat me. You're riding a losing streak. In your fight IQ, it stinks. Every fight you be taking beatings, and I'm not gonna take it easy. Yeah, I'm coming for your rank, and I'm coming to put that performance of the night bonus in the bank. And I'm not the one to play with, most dangerous and underrated. If you ain't know, they call me James Vick, and now let me hear you sing it. The boys round here don't have no fear. We're fighting in the UFC and it's just you and me. Sing along while I get me a beer. Yeehaw! See, the boys round here don't have no fear. We're fighting in the UFC and it's just you and me. Sing along while I get me a beer. Yeehaw! And before we go, shout out to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the bell right next to it so you get notified every time I upload a new video, or some of the time that I upload a new video, because YouTube's notification bell is a player hater. But this is one of the hardest working independent MMA channels on YouTube. We provide daily updates, full fight card breakdowns and predictions. We make MMA fighter freestyles, and we've already interviewed pro fighters Aljamain Sterling, Sean O'Malley, Felony Charles Bennett, and Bruce Lushmedio in just a little over a year as an MMA channel. We're one of the fastest growing MMA channels on YouTube. So with that being said, if you're interested in more videos like this, check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo over at patreon.com. One of the things you can see while you're over there are some of the goals of the channel, and also more free videos like this, betting advice, and more. We just launched the Full-Time MMA store over on teespring.com, and we've got some limited edition gear in order to celebrate that. We've got some Day One Fook the Other Side shirts that are only available for a limited time. Also, you got leggings, phone cases, Don't Be a Bagel Biter, coffee mugs, and more. With that being said, you can check the links out in the description if you want to check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo or the Full-Time MMA store on Teespring. I apologize about the long outro, but a closed mouth don't get fed, so respect. Let the Full-Time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOG.